It looks like not only is there a desire to get football back on track, but there appears to be some sort of leniency as far as upper government is concerned to help facilitate the Premier League's desire to do so. Yes, I know the Bundesliga is coming back this weekend, but I'm talking about Premier League football, and in particular, what I want to talk about is West Ham's team. Now, this is not something that I thought I would see quite so early, and I've got to be honest with you, because they're pushing the date back progressively, and it's now into sort of mid-June. If it turned round and it got cancelled or it got postponed because there was another spike, that wouldn't surprise me. But we'll go along with the information that we've got. And that is that we're not now on a whim of prayer and the wishes of the Premier League, who we know for monetary reasons want to get it back up and running. It now appears that there's certainly been a green light from government, and at quite a high level as well. It's not just football, of course, because I think it may well be this weekend coming up. A few of the top golfers, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson to name but two, are participating in a tournament. It's done to raise money for charity, but whatever reason, I think the important thing is the golfers getting out there and showing that they can have a round of golf, or 2 rounds, however long it is, do it safely. The cameras can record it, and basically, as a broadcast for television, the thing works. What really set the precedent, what I thought, was last weekend, the UFC ran pretty much a full card. And I like my fighting, I like my boxing, I like my UFC. And when I watched it, it had no crowd. I thought, is this going to be... It's going to be bad? Am I not going to enjoy this? Well, I did quite enjoy it. I think the fact that the main event was a humdinger of a fight and really, really entertaining helped massively. But if that's a football match, then that's going to help. If you've got a 4-3 extravaganza, a swashbuckling game, then maybe that is going to get over the fact that there's no crowd there. And by the same token, maybe if it's a bore draw, then you're really going to notice it, and you're probably going to get bored a little bit more quickly, particularly if you're watching the game as a neutral. But bearing in mind it's coming back, bearing in mind, clubs are going back to training now, training in small groups, trying to get up to fitness. It looks like David Moyes will get more or less the month he wants, which is what he said. He wants to get the players with a month worth of fitness behind them. It's going to be interesting to see who he selects. I know it's early days, but let's be fair. We've done a lot of talking about the pandemic and all the rest of it, so why not? Let's just throw it out there. Let's have a little discussion about the team itself. Now, I do think the mental state of some players is going to play a big part, and we can only guess upon that. The only ones that we're really certain of, or we've had an inkling from, are possibly Cresswell, and the other one will be Lanzini. We know about these, and for that reason, I'm going to leave them out of the equation for this one. That being said, I think Cresswell has just voiced his concerns, and Cresswell will make himself available. I actually expect that to happen. Lanzini, I think, is a different kettle of fish. And as you know, if you've been watching this regularly, I do think there will be a number of players at each club who are not going to want to play. But as far as I know, bearing in mind we haven't had any physio reports, because there haven't really been any physios or anything like that. The players haven't been in and out having medicals. I think David Moyes has got pretty much a first choice squad, possibly for the first time. So it's going to be really interesting to see how and if he makes use of players, in particular Andriy Yarmolenko and Jack Wilshere. It's easy to mock and it's easy to dismiss, but in many respects, a lot of people start with a clean slate. You've got a month to impress in training, because what you previously thought is going to go out the window. It's no good if you were a particularly aggressive tackler before this, but now, because you don't want to get in close proximity with somebody, you're going to sort of pull out the tackle. If that's the case, then you're not the same player as before, and he may well go for somebody else. It may well be, I've just put it out there, that quite possibly Jack Wilshere's steaming into tackles. I would advise him not to, by the way. But when they do eventually allow full contact in training, that Jack Wilshere's steaming into tackles and maybe Souček's not, or something like that. I picked 2 names out of the hat. But you see what I mean. So when it comes to the time to select the starting 11, I just think those things may well play on his mind. So I'm going to have a little punt at a first 11, see what you think, and let me know, well, not just what your 11 is, but, you know, if you've spotted something that maybe I haven't spotted, let me know in the comments below. He's obviously going to start with Fabianski. That's not, well, it's just well, it's not, doesn't even need talking about. And in many respects, the goalkeeper is in the best position out of all the players on the pitch. He's going to come into contact with others less frequently than everybody else, I think it's fair to say. Yes, come and gather across and all that type of thing, but by and large, he will have less contact than anybody else. Right back. I think he's going to go with Fredericks on this one. I'm not entirely sure Ngakia would have got in had Fredericks have been fit and firing for the whole time. We appear to have some sort of contractual issue going on. Now, I'm willing to accept that may well be because West Ham are just not negotiating that sort of thing at the moment, and I would understand any football club not, because why would you want to? But I wonder if that might play in his mind. I also think Moyes likes the senior player, and he would see Fredericks as being that guy. I don't think Zabaleta gets back in, but it may well be that Zabaleta gets on the training ground and impresses, because if you were to imagine one player that's going to go in and say, I don't care about all this, I'm just going to get on with it, I'm going to play my game, he's going to be very, very resolute mentally, you'd probably say it would be Zabaleta. So I think, but bear in mind, I still think Ryan Fredericks will play there. I just think he'll go for the senior guy. It's a hunch. I may well be wrong. We'll find out soon enough, hopefully. Centre halves, I don't think are going to change massively. I think you're going to get Diop, and I think you're going to get Ogbonna. I can't see any other reason to change it apart from something that happens in training that we can't know. We can't quite speculate. We don't know. We assume that those 2 guys are rock solid and they're going to be absolutely fine. Left back, I'm going to have to go with Masuaku because we do have a little bit of evidence there, and Cresswell, by his own admission, is scared stiff about going out. So I don't know. You don't even know if he's going to sign this waiver or anything like that. And I wouldn't blame any player for not signing it, by the way. I think players should do what they're comfortable doing. But so we don't know about Masuaku, but we do know about Cresswell. I'm going to put Masuaku in at left back, but Cresswell may well play in there. I think in the centre midfield, I don't think it's a doubt. Declan Rice. Well, who else would you pick? Who goes next to him? This is really interesting. Really, really interesting. And obviously this is dependent on who we play, of course. But what I mean who we play, whether he goes, puts another playmaker in there, puts another defensive guy in there. But it would not surprise me if what he did was he stuck Souček in there, and then it's a case of, I think, he's going to do one other thing. Do you either put Noble in and play Rice, Souček and Noble, which is what I think he will do, or if you're going for the win, do you stick Felipe Anderson as a number 10 or something like that? But I will go with Souček, Noble, Declan Rice. Right has got to be Bowen. It has to be. Not even a doubt. And I think on the left, he's going to go with Paolo Fornals. He's going to go with a fornicator. And I think, well, he had been playing there. He's not a winger. I'd rather he didn't. Personally, I would take one of those guys out the middle and put Fornals in there. But I think he proved himself to Moyes. And there's one thing we know about this boy, is that he has got a very, very good attitude. He's determined. And I think he's probably chomping at the bit. So I put him in there, which leaves the centre forward. Now, you will notice I've not put Jack Wilshere in there and I've not put Yarmolenko in there because I don't know. And I think whilst I say I wouldn't be surprised if Cresswell's in there, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Felipe Anderson rather than one of those other guys in the middle. There's a few things that wouldn't surprise me. I think I would be surprised, as would you, if Yarmolenko or Wilshere walked into that team. But as I say, we don't know what goes on in training. My centre forward, and I've had a little think about. I've had a big think about this actually. don't have a lot else to think about, do you? At the moment, I think he's going with Mikel Antonio. That's what I think it is. That's what I think our first 11 will be. If it is that, it'll be a miracle. Lots of things can happen. Players can get injured, and if what they want to do is start playing 3 games a week, 5 substitutes, or whatever they decide upon, we are going to see a mass turnover of players because nobody's going to stay fit. They've had a large period of inactivity. But by and large, I think that's David Moyes' team. Let me know what you think.